So this is Myst. Specifically, this is Myst Masterpiece Edition. Not too long ago, someone was nice enough to just kind of just like, give me most Myst games, of which there are a lot more than I realized. Um, but this is a version of the original. I feel like this is the one game in the series that everyone has played. It was absurdly popular back in the day.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
So before I click on the book here, yeah, Myst is like the big point-and-click adventure game. I would not say it is the best ever. I would not necessarily even call it one of my favorites from around the time it was released, but it is a thing. And it was also, on the one hand, just like a foundational game in that after Myst came out, everybody in the world wanted to make Myst. There are so many Myst clones from the late 90s into the early 2000s. So many. But the thing about it is, Myst was not actually a groundbreaking game. If you had a Mac at the time, there was a little program called HyperCard. And what HyperCard was is basically a piece of software for making your own website in a pre-internet age. You would have various screens or cards. You had this very simple scripting language. Most of what you did was like add buttons to the screen after drawing on whatever art you wanted to. And you could do certain with the buttons to, flash a screen or play music or little sound effects or move to the card or just adjust some variables. And it just so happened that HyperCard was like basically the perfect coding environment for anyone to make their own very simple adventure game, especially if you didn't want to have it be very heavy on inventory. So people did that. I did that. I think I actually attempted to make my own version of Shadowgate, not realizing that Shadowgate was already made in HyperCard pretty much. So when Myst came, I was like, oh, I've made games like that. But what it really did that put it on the map was pre-rendered backgrounds and FMV, which are the two things that have kind of aged the worst about it, but give it some charm today. Anyway, I'm going to click on this book now. And here we are. This was like the most mind-blowing graphics at the time when this first came out. And yeah, if you had a CD-ROM drive, this was like a common pack-in back in the day. There is a remake of this, which I think I also have, called Real Myst, which puts it in a proper FPS engine, so you can move around normally. But in the original release and this version, you are clicking around between fixed views of what was, again, just a mind-blowingly gorgeous game at the time. And there is not a lot of plot in Myst. There is some. It's kind of like one of the things that's aged best about it is I remember this. Just this sense of just like this surreal, sterile environment they just like wandering through blindly. But like, there's a plot. I mean, there was an intro. We saw how that goes. But generally speaking, you find puzzles that are just kind of chilling out, doing their thing. You just kind of have to like kludge your way through them. And occasionally, you find little notes like this. Some are hints for puzzles, some are just kind of world building. Probably should have paid more attention to that. Let's see, 40, 67, 47. So that presumably does something to this. Giving us a nice topological map of something. But also, like, there was that brief intro, which does not fully explain the deal with Myst, but fortunately I'm here to fully explain the deal with Myst. Which is basically, there is this family. They got these little magic books, and, you know, if you peer into a book, it will take you to a magical world inside, like all books, but, like, you know, more literally in this case. And, yes, that is a thing. I believe the marker switches are these here. And something that really bothered me about this game when I first played it is the ultimate final puzzle is the guy who's responsible for all this kind of got trapped inside a book and wants help escaping from it. Also, his two sons got trapped inside books and want help escaping from them. And basically, as you explore each region, you get a page of each of the books that the sons are trapped in. And then there's kind of a big overworld puzzle that I just got the hint for, frankly, explaining that there's also a page for the one that I believe his name is Atris is stuck in. And the ones that you spend the entire game going for are kind of red herrings, either bad ending. You don't actually want to free either brother. And the one page that matters isn't in any of the, like, sub-areas. It's just here in kind of the hub world. You do kind of have to play through most of the game for it to explain what you do. But the explanation is there's this one puzzle that has this little index in it that you find the configuration in, punch it into a board, and ta-da, then you get the good ending. But, like, you can kludge your way to that more easily than you can get your way through a lot of the actual puzzles you're playing through it normally. And that always struck me as kind of a design flaw. Anyway, these books are have seen better days, for the most part. I do like that you can actually, like, read a bunch of books in this, though. Like, not in the most pleasant font, honestly. But again, like, it is a very abstract game, but, like, there is a lot of lore in Myst. If you are the sort of person who likes to play a game where you just, like, find books about random people in the setting, it is not bad on that front. Also, back in the day, this is a game that I, like, absolutely finished legit on my own, no hints. Oh, this is the whole thing. Yeah, various constellations matched up to various symbols. We saw that spider symbol earlier. This is also a game that does not have any in-game note tracking. So when you are playing Myst for real, you get a little like pad of paper and a pen and have that handy, and you write down everything because it will be on a test later. Oh. So here we have one of those books of note. Currently it is missing all its pages, so we just have static. But one of its pages is right here, and if we haven't put this in here...
Serious? Are you? See you. No. Help me. Ring. Blue pages. Never. Just...
So this is one of the first things you probably stumble upon if you are playing this blind. Just like, okay, here's a blue book, here's a blue page. I use those together. And, how did this work again? I get a vague bit of text. It's very easy to turn around too fast there. There's something... Oh, yeah, here it is. So this right here is like the actual final puzzle in the game. There's a book you find somewhere that is just a bunch of shape patterns for this. You basically play, you know, a little bit of the cross with it. Well, I kind of wish it's actually just like, here's a bunch of configurations, and you like get somewhere the hint of which page opens up a secret panel to get the one white page that goes in the white book, which is what you actually want to do for the good ending. Before that, you're mostly just find the blue book on the one side of the room and the not wanting me to get near it, red book there. And here's just kind of the starting island. Look at the tower, I forgot about that. This makes some sounds, doesn't it? How do I, like, this thing I don't like is just, like, the weird rotating around thing and having to be at just the right angle to... There we go. This is going to be all static in here. But, hey. Yeah, pretty much.
Why? Bring me a red.
But yeah, the two brothers here, you learn more about over the course of the game if you're like paying attention to environmental stuff, just like little journals and decorations in various rooms, and it's very much presented as like you have to work out, okay, which one of these two, because they hate each other, is the good one. And again, neither one is the good one. Like it's pretty obvious, even your first time through playing it blind, that they both really suck. And either one will just like lock you in their book if you actually get all the pages for them. But I'm going to attempt to find some proper puzzles here. It has been several years since I've played Myst. I'd like to at least get into a proper age, as the worlds are called. Oh, okay, yes. So spinning this around changes where, like, the door is here, I believe. A little irritating, that sound. So that is only going to be open in one particular configuration. And I just have to hold it down until it's in the right spot. Probably should not have blindly messed with it like I did, but I forgot this was a thing. Nope. And I want to say this is, for the most part, a game where you can't get stuck. I seem to recall there's like 1 or 2 exceptions to that, though. Or there's this. Right, it's toggle between, like, going upstairs and, okay, yeah, that's how that works. So let's point this somewhere more interesting. Sure. Have to actually go there to find out what deals with that. And if it was, I forgot whether they're all up or all down, but if all these are in one configuration, a little panel opens on at least one of them. Okay, what do we have here? We have some kind of safe. We have some kind of valve. And a tree. We also have this with 2 valves and a button. Let's see. I do appreciate, like, the very no hand-holding at all start to this, though. Also, about counting these switches. I believe there are 7. Ooh, dentist chair. And put in a date and time. There's one correct answer to this. We also have some stars here. If you turn the lights off. And okay, you can see constellations. So that is tied to something else we found, where there were the various constellations in the book. Which I would have to go back and find, because they don't, you know, give you these things. And let's see, we got a big gear up here. So the one actual hint we have is to count these. Also, if anybody wants to, like, shout out hints, like, I've played this before, I don't mind if we all collectively try to remember, what do we remember about Myst? How far can we get in it together? Let's see. 47 is something interesting. Alright, I have to do this panel here. Exactly. But yeah, like most... Okay, this is just like showing you what the switches are. Not the most handy of things. And I believe 67 was just the default that it started on. Showing a nice little pool of water. And I think there's like no actual useful information on this besides here's what the switches look like. Okay, 1, 2. Let's explore and count these. 3. The comfy chair. It's so easy to misclick things. There's a 4th one over here. We need to power this door to open it. Four. Five. So what is this here? Ah, this is where you power things up. And that is not terribly useful. This is very cool. The place where you actually can botch a puzzle if you just crank this up too much, it'll like blow something out. Where was that? 4 or 5? There'd be 6 over there. And yeah, 7. Based on that, one can, in theory, solve that puzzle on that note, which is something. This is a combination lock. How do I turn this anyway? It's like never an inventory puzzle, for the most part. There's like a place where you pick up a key and use it like on that screen. That's about as far as that goes. And picking up the pages, of course. Ah, okay, is that how that works? Good to know. I feel like I'm missing something with this. It has been a while since I played Myst. How can I turn this anyway? Pretty far. And we also have this tree out here, so I believe it's connected to that. I kind of wish that the like hot spots for like moving and turning were a little bit clearer. Yeah, I would like to also like solve a puzzle. Oh, okay, so the inventory is down here. So I believe it would technically solve a puzzle to put in, what, 7? Did I perhaps miscount? I could have sworn it was 7. Right. Oh, here we
My
go.
love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, wait, and erase this message after you viewed it, just to be safe.
Yeah, if this is Scum VM, then that would explain why it runs as well as it does. Because the original was like literally a hypercard stack, and then whatever the DOS port was. So let's see. Also, he's always talking to Catherine in those messages, which you'd figure would be you, but like, no, that's his wife. You're just some weirdo who wandered in. I'm pretty sure. I think. So we don't also seen the ending. And yeah. There's a lot of like really bad crunchy audio, and there's some like audio-based puzzles, and it's not a good combination. So let's see. One thing we could do. I believe there's only the one book in here that's readable. Oh, no, there's a couple. Okay, I believe there's some hints in some of these in general. So forget what I was about to say. Let's see, it's torched. I guess that's kind of obvious that the ones that actually are readable are this one here, this one here. Yeah, there are some useful hints in these. On top of a lot of lore. Oh, they're not in the best of shape. Oh, okay, that's... excuse me while I get my phone. That one's pain. I wonder if they added this later, because I remember having to just, like, do the musical one by, like... Oh, neat. I didn't realize there were novelizations of Myst, but that would track. I also didn't realize there are as many sequels as there are, honestly. It's like, I remember Myst. Everybody remembers when Ribbon came out, because it was like, wow, this is on like 6 discs, and it's like huge pain in the neck to play. Here we go, The Brothers Writing Believe. Even harder to read. This puzzle gives everybody a headache. All right, the submarine is a thing. here's all these constellations, which are a whole thing. And you know what? Heck with it. The magic of cell phones makes it easier to play Myst in this modern day. Instead of having to just like draw those all out by hand. So here's our big hint wall. And what did this do again? Besides yell at me just now. Does it actually go right? Okay, it does mark certain spots. Okay. Okay. So that's something. And then if I hit this... Yeah, I was starting to say, so there was Myst, obviously. There was Riven, the sequel to Myst, which was like a big deal because it's like, okay, this is like, what, 6 CDs that came on that they had to switch between constantly because, like, puzzles would be, okay, hit this switch over here and then hit this other switch on the other side of the island, and there's like 3 disc swaps between here and there. And then there was the third one that I think people were kind of over it by that point. Okay, yes, this lets you see things from above. Is the main reason to come up here, I think. Is that like a thing over there on that wall? Can I get there? Or no? I think no. And then I remember there was... Oh, I can. Okay, so there's... Okay, now we're making some actual progress. If I look at that from here, I get this little hint. If I come along to this back wall, that 59 volts is what I want to open up the spaceship. That should be doable if we go to the power room. I remember Uru being a thing, which I think is Myst 4. After 3 was kind of a dud. And then there's a Myst 5 that I had no idea existed. And then, of course, remakes and remakes and remakes of all these games. Okay, so let's flip that back around. It's like, if I'm going to showcase Myst, I'm going to showcase Myst a bit. Thanks. And that includes doing at least a puzzle to unlock an age and then poke around in there for a bit. Okay, so we want 59 volts here. Which might just be a question of... Okay, we got 10, 7, 8, 16, 19, 22, that one's just 1. Oh, okay, if I hit that, and that's 59. And I think that's then solved. With no feedback whatsoever, of course. But if I come over here... Hey, it's open. And I hate this puzzle. But if I pull out my phone... I didn't mean to, like, go directly to my least favorite puzzle in the entire game, but I guess that's what we're showing off. Okay. So, hold on, this picture I took. Right here. The first one is... So you guys remember? And we find that on here. Or we saw this way I did back in the day and count keys, assuming that is the lowest note. Does that sound like this? I think that sounds like this. the number of notes this thing can play is really kind of absurd as this puzzle goes. So the next one is... We got a good range here, but... So that is... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20... If you can actually do this puzzle by ear, that's amazing. Okay, and not even going to go back to that. 3 from here. And let's see. Okay, let me just count this from scratch. Okay. Is that it? Okay, what we actually want is, of course... My phone keeps shutting off. What we actually want is... What we have is... So which one's off? And by how much? And that's why I don't like this puzzle. Should be right. And these don't loop right, is the other thing. Get my diagram out again. That sounds... I think I have that one too high. That's the only problem. Check 4 and 5 as well. Yeah, if you're like even a little bit tone deaf, this puzzle's impossible. Still not there. Okay, that sounds right. Lovely. And this is like, even with a guide, like, the positioning on these is so finicky. It's gotta be like, and they're like pixel perfect, like, positionings on the thing. Okay, 2 and 3 were... Phone, quit falling asleep. We got puzzles to solve together. That sounds right to me. Cruel puzzle design. I'm gonna get this. Well, if anybody has a better way to cheat it than I do, let me know. Okay, is that right? And I have to wonder, how awful is this in real Myst, where you're actually, like, moving polygons up and down on this thing? It'd be nice if it would, like if one note was in the right place, too. Yeah, that sounds different to me. No, it's just be right. Okay, note number 4. Let's hear you again. And number 5. Do I accept defeat? Do I struggle on? I should also be like just 2 under this one, actually. And they can move a bit while you're trying to adjust them by just a nudge. Once again, anybody knows a way to cheat this. I feel like I'm so close. Just one of these is slightly off. Going slightly crazy here. I'm going to do this. Sounds right. And it's hard to like play it fast enough to like compare too. I got the first one wrong. And there's no like extra step to the puzzle I'm forgetting, I don't think. That sounds a bit wrong. Hey! I did it! Oh, it took me forever. Hate that puzzle so much. But behold, now I have a book. As we click on it and look through it, we are taken to a new age, as they call them. A brand new island to explore and get confused by puzzles on. Oh yeah, this is all sound-based, isn't it? These are at least more distinctive than, like, picking out notes on a scale. Like that broken clock. We got some cool whistling wind. Here with this satellite. He projects it to a degree. It's not the easiest place to navigate either. You can kind of see what I'm saying though about like puzzles and Myst are kind of kludgy. Okay, there's the whistling sinkhole. We can go way down here. Come up over here. And if we point this at the sources of things, I clearly remember. We can get some degrees. We can just kind of set these ourselves, I believe. And I think you do this to get the order based on the degree markers, and then put those in. And then you get a red and blue page, and can leave with those, and the whole game is like that. Each age has a different theme. This is the sound one. Nobody likes the sound one. We can also, like, work out what's what from here. And I think this is a decent taste. Like, you get the idea. Okay, you get splashing from this pot, which is to the left of the whistling. And again, you can't, like, just turn. You gotta, like, deal with the thing at the clock. Past that. And then the rumbling of the flaming crack in the earth over here. You match up accordingly, and yeah, solve a puzzle, and then go in here and get your pages. And that's how Myst works. I guess I'll save. But yeah, it's again a game that I didn't really enjoy at the time. I appreciate the vibe of it a lot. The vibe is very good. The visual style was kind of groundbreaking at the time. But yeah, you just go around to these various places. There's, what, I guess 8 of them. And do your thing. Learn your stuff. Collect your pages. Find out at the end that, like, you don't actually want any of those pages. You want to go back to the main island and hit those little switches in a certain configuration to get the secret extra page, and from there find out that, oh, you just go into the fireplace and munch in the thing and skip the entire game. And then your reward for doing that is you get to the little weird book cell that the old guy is in, and he's like, oh, thanks. I guess we're both stuck in here now, so, you know, have a seat. And then later Riven happens. It's a weird experience, honestly.